Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day.
One last minute. And Simril will start. Cheers everyone. I'm your dystopian innkeeper playing Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Drinking coffee at 9 p.m. UTC +1. Lovely. Lark. That Tiefling Bard, which is already quite an interesting combination in Tiefling Bard. We'll see how he will perform. No pun intended here. Flex champions will be Darius, Regis, Warden, Kroll, Lucius, oh yes, Talon, Jorven, just got a rework, Warduke, Shadowheart, there might be Shadowheart, Deep Blanc coming in, and Halsin. Halsin just got released a year ago. And Simril started getting event details. The Flex Champions. Nordum will unlock in 6 days and 23 hours in a week. I will keep you up to date as soon as his rework patches alive. Darius, Halsin, Kroll, Lucius, Regis, Shadowheart, Talon, Warden, Warduke, and Jorven as Flex champions. Let's have a look at the adventures of Lark and not the Nightingale. Oh, that was bad, I admit. Simril Spoil Sports. That's very interesting. Very interesting formation here. 2 tanking positions. 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. And the reason might be the Devil May Care ability. Why is it locked? I can't unlock Lark when I must have Lark available. This is simply not possible. Okay, so we got a first hiccup, it seems. Going to restart the game, bear with me. Yeah, things like that happen. They shouldn't, but they still do. I'll check for corrupted files with the Steam client. And voila, 70 corrupted files. And we should be back soon. We're back. Good. Okay, let's try that again. So the hiccup. Cheers. Nothing we can do about that. Good. Simril. Adventure Lark must have Lark available. If you could only tell me how. All right. Next try. One last try. Saving? Yeah, save all you want. Okay, so we're having problems. Reporting error. Yes, thank you. Thanks for reporting that error. Oh, goodness gracious. Five corrupted files found again. And we should be back now. See? Third time's the charm. What if we pick Shadowheart as the flex champion? We're going to start it via this button here. That doesn't work either. Again, save and quit. Again, checking the files with my Steam client. Five corrupted files again. Awesome if those 5 corrupted files would always be the same. Oh well. Now it worked. 4th time's the charm. Good. Interesting information still. Sort of a hiccup. But here we go. Unlocking Lark. Building up Goldfindish / speedy formation. Maybe get Omen in the middle. Get Elvic right here. That's going. I will replace Diana with Chahira later. Getting in Rust, of course, the usual suspects, so to say. Let's take that up a notch. I've already done a spotlight, Lark spotlight. If you're interested, I will link it under that video too. And we're going with we here. We can't. Oh yeah, we can. Good. That's our starting formation. So unlocking Lark, the Tiefling Bard, shouldn't be much of a problem. Let's speed things up a little bit more. Already got 150 million shards favor. That will go up 2. We're reaching area 50. Unlocking Lark. Made it. Yeah, in 11 minutes. And it took us exactly 3 minutes for those 50 areas. 8 minutes were sacrificed to server hiccups. Recruit Lark, the Tiefling Bard, increases the damage of all champions by 1%. Cheers. It says here completion time 24 minutes. That's because of the speed potion. It didn't take 24 minutes, it took 3 minutes. Good. Let's have a look at his variants. Variant 1, no autographs, tier 1. Area goal for tier 4 would be 1200. Lark starts in information with his Devil May Care ability unlocked. He can be moved but not removed. Only Lark and champions buffed by both him and Agi. By both him and Agi can deal damage. So that means that Agi has to be with him. Good. No problem. 1 or 2 unruly fans spawn with each wave. They don't drop gold nor count towards quest progression. Getting to know Lark and Agi. Lark increases the damage of champions in the middle columns. So not in the front and not the last column. While Agi increases the damage of champions not next to her. Position your damage dealers to take advantage of both buffs. Okay. Well, that was wrong. I didn't want to start it yet. Oh man, he's looking great. Let's go through the other adventures as well. Let's have a look at those. The Fortune's Fool. Area goal for tier 4, 1400. Lark starts in information. He can be moved but not removed once again. Starting in area 51. Enemies that don't have an active debuff reduce all normal attacks damage to just 1 point of damage. Ouch. Okay. When Lark attacks, getting to know Lark, when Lark attacks an enemy and does not defeat it, he applies a debuff, making it more susceptible, difficult word for me, to damage in the future. Use him and other debuff champions to get through these resistant foes, starting in area 51. All together now. All together now. Yeah. Tier 4 goal would be area 1600. Lark starts in formation. He can be moved but not removed. You may only use champions who have fallbacks, tieflings, evil, multi-classed, or have a charisma of 13 or lower. No Chahira. Yeah, good. But Artemis, 2 backup musicians joined the formation. They just got in the way, just like backup musicians usually do. Getting to know Lark, Lark's specialization choice determines which sort of champion he works best with. Build a formation that makes most of his buffs. I'll tackle no autographs tomorrow. It's going to be up today after this video. And we'll have a look at his base variant. Oh no. Or should we? We should build up focus first, I think. Oh, there he is. Lark. Good. Well, then let's play it with Lark, because why not? His first specialization choice: the band of Misfits, the center of attention, or the path of nightmares. Lark isn't the band of Misfits. Lark isn't above. Pardon. We need more gold and we need more speed. For sure. Lark isn't above using others to his own benefit. Goodness. Lark increases the damage of Devil May Care by 110% for each unique class information stacking multiplicatively. The center of attention. Lark doesn't like to share the spotlight. Yeah. Lark increases the damage of Devil May Care by 192.5% for each fallback champion and or champion with a charisma score of 13 or lower in information stacking multiplicatively. Again, and the Path of Nightmares. It's a little too easy to convince Lark to participate in something that is absolutely nefarious. Lark increases the damage of Devil May Care by 165% for each tiefling and or evil champion in information stacking multiplicatively. So that's basically doing the math. The Devil May Care ability. Why didn't that information save correctly? Huh. The Devil May Care ability increases the damage of the columns not in front and not at the back of the formation. By 2000%. By 2000. Okay, and the spotlight it says 100. Won't complain. So that got a buff because I mean those item levels are at 1, just unlocked. It's interesting. In the spotlight, let me check that real quick. In the spotlight, it says where is it? Yeah, in the spotlight it says Lark increases the damage of all champions that aren't in the first or last column by 100%. Now it's suddenly a lot more. 2000. And the Clumsy Dagger that increases the Devil May Care ability is at item level 1. Good. So my plan is to push as far as possible and then get Tahira in instead of Diana, maybe Kent instead of Chalaxel, and definitely Merylwen instead of Lae'zel, and I would say Evelyn instead of Human, but Lark is blocking seat 6, so probably going with Tatiana then as a higher tank. And music's out. Today is not a very technical day. Is music okay? I think it is. Good. So that's pure math. But I'm going with the Path of Nightmares, just because it's evening here. No special reason. We unlocked his first 3 feat slots. Let's increase the Devil May Care ability, the Rapt Audience, and a general plus 10% selflessness bonus. Let's recall Agi. We can't. Oh yes, we can. Good. So that's already 1.93 billion bonus for the Devil May Care. Impressive, impressive. Gotta say. Pushing to, I don't know, maybe 800, and see you then. Well, we will have built up enough enough favor by then, and then we're going to start variant 1. In the meantime, goodbye everyone. See you soon. That was a shaky start of Simrel, gotta admit. Cheers. See you soon. We're reaching area 800 and I just reconsidered. We still need more Charles favor. Only at 2 to the power of 37 at area 800. I'm going to restart the base adventure doing the variants tomorrow, and we'll have a closer look at Lark in the base variant, because why not? I rebuild my formation a little bit, leaning more towards gold find at the start of the event. That's probably always a good idea. Ending that adventure in the next boss area, Merylwen's Meat Grinder. Thank you. And complete. Let's start it again. And let's have a look at the numbers, because they don't align with the spotlight. They simply don't. Getting some potions in. Yeah, that's much better. Much better. Good. Meanwhile, we unlocked his 4th feature slot. Going to open gold chests soon enough. We've got 53 in stock. I think that will buy me those 3 feats that can be bought with gold chests. The Constitution score and Intelligence score by Lark increased by 1. Off Lark increased by 1 is available as an event reward, making him eligible for more patrons. I would have to look that up. I think Vajra and Sariel. Not really absolutely sure about that without having to look at the patron restrictions. Good. The numbers are pretty amazing. We don't need human here. We need rest. By all means, yes. That's way better. Because once he is maxed, once Lark is maxed, he already provides some awesome buffs. Agi now buffs the damage of all non-adjacent champions by 700%. The Devil May Care ability, so buffing every column except the tanking one and the very last one, is increased by 2.34 to the power of 10. That's in non-scientific notation 23.4 billion. Lovely. The uptempo Agi increases Agi's buff by 600% when Lark is in the formation. It doesn't say that Agi has to be next to Lark, so any fallback champion can have Agi. Agi just needs to be in the formation. The Bardic Perspiration, not inspiration, but Perspiration. When Agi is with Lark and at least 50% of the area quest requirements are met, Lark sprints off to the next area, leaving the formation and Agi behind. Should maybe pause the speed potions in order to see that. So, yep, Lark went straight to the next area. Does that happen too when he sprints to a boss area? Yes, it does. And he's already defeating enemies in the next area, so speeding things up a little bit. Not sure if that really pays off. We'll see. When the formation catches up to him, that's Bardic Perspiration again. When the formation catches up to him, Lark has already antagonized several enemies, spawning 1.1 enemies in the next area before the formation even arrives. That's the Harbor's Will, the third equipment slot. That's capped at 991 item levels. So he will spawn more and more enemies in the next area, the higher the harbors will goes up. On the third equipment slot. The Rapt Audience. When Lark attacks... Let me get those speed potions back. Thank you. The Rapt Audience. When Lark attacks an enemy and does not defeat it, the enemy gains the Charmed debuff. Charmed enemies take 400 additional damage, just like in the Spotlight, I think. No, Charmed enemies take 100% additional damage, it says in the Spotlight, so he got definitely buffed quite a bit. For each Charmed debuff that Lark has applied in the current area, stacking multiplicatively and stacking at 10 stacks. If Lark attacks an enemy he has already charmed, it still increments his charm count for the area. And once Lark applies his maximum number of charm stacks in the area, he switches over to his crossbow, named Last Resort. Enthrall. Lark strums a few notes on his lute, increasing his charmed stack cap up to 20 for the rest of the area, dealing 1 ultimate hit to all enemies and applying charmed debuff to all of them. Let's try that out. Pausing the speed potions again. Enthrall. Lark's powerful performance deals 1 ultimate hit to all enemies and charms them, making them more susceptible. I hate that word, pun. 2 additional damage. I'm giving up. More vulnerable to additional damage. Oh, he already went after the next area. Well, his guitar blinked a bit. He ran off. And the Rapt Audience doesn't go up because he's not in the formation anymore. So he can't charm enemies anymore. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay. This is so much fun. Trying out new champions. The Path of Nightmare, the one I've chosen before, increases the damage of Devil May Care by 165%. That, by the way, yeah, went up to, it says, 150% for each and or Tiefling champion in the formation stacking multiplicatively. Maybe that's because the item level is at 1. But then again, that doesn't explain the huge buff of Devil May Care. Let's have a look at this changelog. Nope. It doesn't say anything about any buffs for Lark, be that as it may. The more the merrier. Good. Opening up 53 gold chests that will buy me those feats that can be bought with gold chest for Lark. See, the solo artist and the moment of truth. Fine. So we can upgrade Lark's Devil May Care ability from 20 to 40 and the Bardic Perspiration to let's replace the selflessness ability, and there's still the spotlight missing, so we still need more gold chests. By all means possible, we need more gold chests. Speeding things up again with Lasso. Then again, we're losing gold, which might not be a good idea. But I think I can let that run in the background for now and have a look. Again, a closer look at his variants. No autographs. Lark starts information with his Devil May Care ability, increasing the damage of all columns except the tanking column and the last column. He can be moved but not removed. Only Lark and champions buffed by both him and Agi can deal damage. One or two unruly fans spawn with each wave. They don't drop gold nor count towards quest progress. Lark increases the damage of champions in the middle columns, while Agi increases the damage of champions not next to her. Position your damage dealers to take advantage of both buffs. So my idea would be to place Lark at the back. He doesn't need to do damage in his first week. And leave the rest of the formation barely untouched even. Oh, the service today. I'm sorry, but it's really the service. The service too, I mean. Technical issues at the start of the event. Well, that's nothing all too new. Let's sprint forward. Let's even get in Melf. Because why not? Cheers. So Lark. It's looking nice. I like his cloak. I like his guitar. I like Agi besides him. He blends in well, I think. And the formation is looking good to push. I mean, let me go back to that one. And already switched to DPS. Getting in Chahira and Kent. So Chahira is buffed now by Merylvan, by Omen, by Kent, by Elovic, by Certainty Dran. and by Lark, because she's in the middle of the formation. See if she gets that buff. He gets the Agi buff, 700%. And the devil may care from Lark, 2.34 to the power of 10. And that went up. Up through the roof, I would say. That buff. Lovely. Good. Switching back to Speedy / Gold Find. Going to tackle area 1000. And then going full Gold Find again to get enough favor for variant 1 tomorrow. I'll see you at area 1000. Goodbye everyone. For now? No, hold on. I'm always reconsidering. Why not let that run in the background, and let's have a closer look again at Fortune's Fool, his second variant. Tier 4 goal would be area 1400. Lark starts once again in the formation. He can be moved but not removed. Starting in area 51. Enemies that don't have an active debuff reduce all normal attack damage to just 1 point of damage. Getting to know Lark. When Lark attacks an enemy and does not defeat it, he applies a debuff, that charmed buff, making it more vulnerable. I dodged that word now. Making it more vulnerable to damage in the future. Use him and other debuff champions to get through this resistant foes. We don't have a debuff in that formation right now, except Lark. Nope. We don't. Oh well. No. No, we don't. Esmeralda is a good debuffer, especially against hit point or armor based enemies. But I think maybe Lark alone will do with the Rapt Audience. No, I don't think so, because Lark runs off screen once he defeat more than 50% of the enemies in the area, and then he can't apply any more debuffs. So we need another debuffer. Maybe Esmeralda, maybe, oh no, maybe even Nova. Nova would be a good choice here. Yes, Nova. Instead of Russ giving up Gold Find, yes, a lot, but also gaining a good tank with Nova and gaining a constant debuff of enemies. So that might even work. We will see. We will see. All together now, third variant, area goal for tier 4 would be 1600. Lark starts an information. It can be moved but not removed. You may only use champions who have fallbacks, tieflings, evil, multi-classed, or have a charisma of 13 or lower. 2 backup musicians join the formation, and as backup musicians do, they just get in the way. Getting to know Lark. Lark's specialization choice determines which sort of champion he works best with. Build information and makes the most of his buffs. Good. Flex champions. Definitely Shadowheart. Definitely Lucius. Not sure about Warden or Regis. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Already at area 415. Going back to gold find once we are at area 500. I mean 500. And then I'll let it run and start over again. Let it run overnight and see how much favor we can get. And then I'll see you most probably tomorrow. Lark, not the Nightingale, by the way. Just don't call him Nightingale. He does not like that. He's the Lark and not the Nightingale. Yeah, it's getting old. Pardon. Good. Miria is ready. Giving up B. That hurts. I will see. Area 1000 is absolutely within range on the second run. You're reaching area 500, so it's already time to say goodbye, everyone. Cheers. Yeah, well, that Devil May Care buff, I can't find it in the patch notes. Be that as it may, it's a buff. Can't complain about the buff, really. And we might need that with his variant 3 especially. Variant 2, variant 1 and 2 don't seem all too hard, but having only, well, 8 champions available, and they're restricted to fallbacks, tieflings, evil and multi-classed champions, or they must have a charisma score of 13 or lower. That's quite hefty. That's quite a hefty restriction. Quite hefty. Several restrictions. Be that as it may, that was very interesting. A very interesting unlock indeed. With the server hiccup at the start. Char's favor is building up. I'll see you soon. Hopefully tomorrow. With variant 1 of Lark, the Tiefling Bard. Let's see how that goes. And in the meantime, well, I think you know how it is. everyone. Have fun. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey. It's a brand new day.